It's your startup.
Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Loner Gale, and welcome to our channel. And I feel like the first thing that you should know about me is that I love startups. And this channel is about providing resources and ideas that are designed to propel your startup in the right direction, but doing so in a fun way and to make the experience a little more enjoyable. The simple fact is that I admire anyone who tries to solve a problem by providing a service or a product that fulfills a pressing need. However, what fascinates me more is the thinking process that a person goes through in coming up with that service or product. One of my favorite quotes on this subject is one by Victor Papinek, which says, "The only thing important about design is how it relates to people." And let me repeat that. The only thing important about design is how it relates to people. So, for example, have you ever had a product that looked wonderful when you bought it, but when you took it home and started to interact with it, it became total nightmare, like it was just not user friendly? So I think that when coming up with ideas for your startup, that's something that we should think about. Our product or service should not just solve a pressing need, but it should be user friendly or user centric. So now, how do we ensure that our product or service does not become a nightmare? One of the schools of thought on this is what is called design thinking, and it's built on this framework. In this framework, we have four core concepts. It's empathize, which relates to learning about our audience; ideate, which is about brainstorming and creating solutions; then there's prototyping, which means that we build representations of our ideas; and of course, the testing phase, which simply means that we test our ideas. Now, let me see if I can delve a little bit deeper into each phase. Now, the empathize phase is simply the ability to put ourselves in the shoes of our customers to gain an accurate understanding of their knowledge, of their experiences, and of their objectives. At the define phase, here is where we gather all the information in the empathize phase and we try to make sense of it. And we ask questions like, what difficulties or barriers are our customers coming up against? What patterns are you observing? And what big user problem is your team trying to solve? Thirdly, we have the ideate phase. Sounds like a big word, but it simply means in this process is where creativity happens. Um, Innovators will hold ideate sessions or meetings in order to come up with as many angles and solutions as possible. Now, this is very important. I must stress this because in this phase, we must work with a diverse team that allows the interchange of perspective, which in turn can only lead to a more richer and more innovative product. Then, of course, there's the prototype phase. This is all about experimentation and turning ideas into tangible products. This step is very key in putting each solution to the test and highlighting any constraints or flaws. Throughout the prototype phase, solutions may be accepted, they may be rejected, or just redesigned depending on how they feel or perform as prototypes. Now, last is the testing phase, but it's important to note that this is really the ending of the design thinking process. The results of this phase can often lead you back to perhaps a previous phase or a previous step, providing insights and or the ability to redefine our original as problem or to come up with new ideas that we hadn't thought before. So essentially, that's the framework of design thinking. So now the question then becomes, why should a startup adopt design thinking as part of their culture? Well, I'll name four. And the first one is improve customer service, loyalty, and retention. Design thinking ensures a user centric approach, which ultimately boosts user engagement and customer retention in the long term. And that would make sense, wouldn't it? Number two is it gets products to market faster. Now, if we consider that what this means, now because design thinking focuses on problem solving and finding a viable solution, it significantly reduces the amount of time spent on design and development. Thirdly, it gives great cost saving and a significant return on ROI. Getting successful products to market faster is ultimately saves time and money. Design thinking has been proven to yield significant return on investment. And those companies that apply IBM design thinking in their process have seen a return of perhaps even up to 300% on their ROI. Something to think about. And last but not least, most successful brands use design thinking in their processes. And we always want to emulate those who are successful in our field, don't we? So, for example, Google, Airbnb, Nike, PepsiCo, just to name a few, have all successfully considered design thinking as part of their core culture and their way of doing business. So, should you adopt design thinking in your processes? Well, I cannot choose for you, but at least it's something to think about. However, I will say that there are many opportunities to make a difference and earn money in the process. However, we must always remember that our rewards in life are in exact proportion to the service that we give. So, whatever you do, always remember to keep on serving, to work, to build, create, and remember, it's your startup.